Welcome back to Sports Extra. I'm Chris Lee, and let's welcome back in WRAL's Kacy Hintz. Right now, she's at Madison Square Garden, of course, the most famous arena in the world. And unfortunately, the Carolina Hurricanes couldn't come away with the Game 1 win. And one of the big reasons why, 5 power play opportunities, no goals coming from those power play opportunities. Kacy, 0 for 5. What went wrong for the Carolina Hurricanes when it came down to special teams?
Chris, those are the most famous words that we've been talking about for the last couple of years with this team, but this year felt different, right? The Canes power play has actually been one of the best in the entire league. In fact, it was second in the regular season at 28%. You had guys like Seth Jarvis. He had 13 goals on the power play, 20 power play points, and then you bring in a guy like Jake Guentzel. He's supposed to also kind of help get it over the hump, but tonight there was definitely some good looks in there, but they just can't find a way to bury one. Some of the things to me felt like they were maybe passing up some shots or giving up shots. And maybe it was just some of that first game jitters kind of settling into a new series. That's kind of the way Sebastian Aho alluded to me when I asked that question. He said, you know, it's kind of just that first game of the first series, especially on the road. But that is something that obviously they have to work on because, you know, like I said, passing up those shots, giving up those shots. I mean, that's the only way to score is if you're going to put pucks on net. And sometimes it's those gritty goals that will get you, but you also got to get some traffic in front of Igor Shesterkin. I think we saw that problem a couple years ago. Canes were unable to do that. Again, you got to stack the box. You got to get traffic in front of Igor Shesterkin and get some pucks on net. Obviously, it sounds simple, but you know, that's just kind of the way you look at it, especially on a power play that's been really good all season.
Maybe the Canes should take a book from or a piece of the Rangers game, right? Because the Rangers did an amazing job. I looked up in the first period where they had 7 shots on goal and had 3 goals at that point. Freddy Anderson had an amazing season or amazing series last series against the Islanders. We talked about him missing 49 games due to that blood clotting issue, came back looking like an all-star, and today everything kind of dropped off. What went wrong for Freddy Anderson?
Well, I think you have to look at, first of all, that first goal from Mika Zibanejad. I mean, that's just beauty all the way around. You can't fault him on that one. And then along with the same 2 power play goals. And actually, if you go back to that first goal, it was a breakdown thanks to Teuvo Teravainen. That doesn't happen. That whole play then doesn't happen. It doesn't get by Freddy Anderson, I don't think. But the 2 power play goals, you also, you know, can't really fault him on. I think the only one you really look at that he wasn't able to get was that 4th goal. And when you see that Marty Necas makes it, you know, a 1-goal game late, that could have been a difference there. I don't think Freddy Anderson is really a big issue here. And I don't think it's, you know, time to maybe look at fatigue or anything, because I think he's been looking like he's been moving better than he has actually the last couple of years. So I think that, you know, a day's off rest here. I don't think that, you know, they've gone with that rotation with Pyotr Kochetkov this season. And we saw that, you know, even it doesn't matter how long Pyotr had sat, it didn't take him long to get into the game and get into a game rhythm. So I don't think that they would be hesitant to put him in whatsoever. But I just don't think that Freddy Anderson was the issue here tonight.
Okay, so Freddy Anderson is not the issue, but we do have an issue with special teams. What other adjustments other than special teams do the Canes have to make for Game 2 on Tuesday?
Well, I think you got to look at the start, right? That first couple of minutes felt chaotic. Yeah, right? Like, you know, of course you spot the Rangers a goal, so you're already down 1-0, but then you get that one back, but then you take a couple of penalties, and there goes all the momentum. But Sebastian Aho said, you know, it all comes down to our start, and they like to wear teams down, but you can't do that when you're constantly picking things up in the 3rd period, because just like we've seen throughout the entire first round, we saw it again tonight that they finally got to their game in the 3rd, and then they score a goal and they're within 1, and it's kind of a whole new game. So I think really the start will be the big issue here. And even Brind'Amour said, of course, the biggest difference is the special teams. We're not just talking about the Hurricanes power play, but the Canes penalty kill has got to be better, because you take away those 2 goals, and Chris, that's a completely different game.
All right, we have to see what happens on Tuesday for Game 2. Kacy, you'll be there. Thank you so much for joining us right here on Sports Extra.